For the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Standing in the firing line there.
It's like coming in there saying grace.
Are you there?
Okay, so you want to call a roll?
Jamie Bowman.
Here.
Frank Myers.
Here.
Leanne Walvogel.
Here.
Donna Roush. Martha Patterson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, so next we need to approve the agenda for this evening.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and then we have the minutes from the last meeting on March 20th.
I'll make a motion, we approve and submit it.
I'll second that.
All say aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the introduction of evidence. I would like to introduce the St. Genevieve Municipal Code, the design guidelines for the St. Genevieve Downtown Register Historic District, and staff reports.
I move to accept the evidence.
Second.
All say aye. Aye. Okay, so do we have any old business?
Well, the one thing that I noticed was on 17, no. Yes, 2517, applicants wanted to put up a storage shed and a chain link fence, and we approved the storage shed, but not the fence. And the article in the paper said we had approved the fence.
No.
And I wanted to make sure that was clear,
No,
that no, we did not.
No, and in the minutes, it even reflects Daniel Evans and his contractor were present to discuss the project and to answer any questions. Commissioner Walvogel was concerned about the chain link fence in the historic district. Mr. Evans stated that he needed the storage more than the fence at this time. Then Commissioner Patterson made a motion to approve the shed with wood siding and a shingle roof only.
Yeah, just that in the article in the paper, it said that it had been approved. I wanted to
Make sure that
make sure that was not so.
Okay, so now that we've got that clear, we can move on to the new business. SGHC 03117, receive a certificate of appropriateness to remove a section of stockade fence which has been deteriorating and create an open space. Also to install an HVAC system with an outside air conditioning unit at 125 South Main Street. Is there someone here to talk about that? You want to come up to the mic, please?
Thank you. I'm Jeff Giuliano. I'm the new director at the Bolduc House Museum / New France. And the two situations that we're dealing with, one is just the section of stockade fence that's on the interior of the property. If you look at the drawing, it's basically runs from the east gate that's by the walk that goes past the recreated summer kitchen back to the gate that goes into the area where for the last, I don't know, 3-4 years they've been doing the Native American programs. If you look in there, you'll notice that that section of the stockade is in pretty bad shape, a lot of gaps. It is it's something that we need to deal with from a safety issue and also the appearance. But our intention, rather than replacing the cedar stockade there, was to just leave that open. As originally that was, a single property. The stockade predates the acquisition of Bolduc-Les property to the north. So originally, that stockade fence arguably would not have been there. It was put there because to close off the property, which was smaller at that time. We could not find any indication that it isn't the original recreated stockade from the 50s. We're going on that assumption that that's part of the reason why it's deteriorating is the age. But by not replacing it, not only will it give more of a sense of what the size of the property was like, but also open up some nice sight lines, be able to, for people to be able to look over and see the gardens, see the grapevine, the arbor, and I will be honest, it is also a cost factor that replacing that section of fence. We are going to keep the rest of the stockade up, and where it is actually facing the street or separating the property to the south and the parking lot. And then at the same time, one of the other things about keeping section of stockade up, including a small section of the north part, is that we are introducing climate control in the Bolduc house because the variations in temperature and humidity that go to extremes in there. We have probably one of the best collections of French-Canadian 18th century antiques in the world in that building, and not having any climate control to minimize, not to make it frigid or to keep things from sweating in there the way that they do, we have to put something in. The only external manifestation is going to be a small unit that, again, if you look at the drawings, you'll see it is a very modest size external unit that would be tucked in a corner where it would be not very visible because of not only the stockade but the chimney, the stone chimney on the north side of the Bolduc house. And then we'd also do some plantings to help camouflage it a little more. That is an area where the public doesn't go. There aren't activities on that little section of yard in that side. The people usually don't go on the gallery unless they're just wandering. And there is already an anachronistic element in there with a power junction box in the corner of the stockade fence interior. So it's not a pure environment to start with, and we feel it's where there'd be the least impact.
Okay.
You're going to still have a stockade fence from Main Street back to about the summer kitchen then?
Yes.
Have you considered putting a stockade fence around the air conditioning unit where you have got shrubs with drawing?
It would almost make it more obvious. We had looked at that, thinking about building a box of some kind around it, and it seemed like it almost called more attention to it than just, it is a very small unit, and but we had thought about that.
I agree with, I think, everything you're proposing, removing that section of the fence, because that will allow the two pieces of the property to come together as they were in Bolduc style. My only concern is in the future. I think the stockade fence is a very essential part of the presentation of the French residential structure, historic structure in the valley. And I have no objections at all to removing the section you're talking about. I just hope that you, in your future plans, include retaining the stockade fence around the property that is around now, and even it would be nice if it were around the entire property. However, I think the streets and sidewalks are much wider now than they were when that was built.
Yeah.
That's my only comment. And there is no ductwork up from that air conditioning unit.
No, it would be
Yeah, it'll be well
piping
in
going
that
to
corner.
the little exhaust. And actually, I was pretty impressed that the fellows came up with as small a unit as they did. We were actually trying to get something that we could get under the gallery, and we just couldn't do it. We're really trying to minimize this. But going back to the stockade, I appreciate what you're saying. It is an important part of the story, and we're trying to tell a story and give people a sense of how much life changed between when Louis built that house and when generation or so that LeMayer house is built, and how different it is. So it's actually the difference in the two fence sections kind of help reflect that. But the rest of the stockade, thank goodness, even though we've had some pieces kind of fall out of it, but it's pretty solid, and we're hoping that we're not going to have to deal with replacing that for a long time. But I appreciate and understand what you're saying, and yes, that's the plan is to keep it part of the story.
Good.
Okay, so does anyone have any more questions?
I would make a motion that we approve the submittal as the project as submitted.
Okay, I will second that.
All say aye. Aye. Okay, that's taken care of. You're good to go?
Okay, thank you very much.
Just out of curiosity, what sort of plantings are you going to use?
Well, Bobby can talk about it.
We've got some boxwoods we're looking at possibly taking away from another property and helping line them up from there.
Boxwoods would be,
It'd be nice. It'd be appropriate. They're the same gen variety.
Okay.
and they grow fast and thick.
And they stay green all year, so.
That's right. That's why I like it.
Okay, so Carla, we had a couple administrative approvals.
At 164 North 4th Street, I had a request to replace she wanted to remove the outdoor carpet that had been placed on the front porch. It's been on there for many years. There were some rotten floorboards and some areas where the floor joist needed to be repaired and replaced.
That's what
So,
outside carpet does.
yes. So I had approved for that to be replaced in kind materials. And then at 25 North Main Street, the church, they are replacing their asphalt shingle roof, replacing their gutters, and there's an awning over the man door on the side of the building, and they're replacing it with the same style of awning. And those were the only two that I have.
Okay. So is there any other business? Anybody got any comments? Yeah.
May I make one comment?
Sure.
I'd like to thank Carla, the guide. I'm new to all this, and her help and guidance and efficiency has just been an absolute delight, as well as essential to being able to proceed with things. And I think you've got a wonderful person working in this position, and
She's been good to us.
that's, well, she's a real treasure, and we
Well, thank
appreciate
you.
your help.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, then I guess we're ready to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll say aye.
Aye.
That's it.